New RV sales just took a nosedive, down 24% in a single month, but that's only part of the story. Meanwhile, the RV industry just made a decision that will affect every new towable RV you can buy starting in mid-2027. And Outdoorsy, one of the biggest names in RV rentals, is making a move into something you might not expect at all, plus a major Ford recall, where fuel prices are heading next, and more. I'm Jason Epperson, this is RV Miles, and it's time for the latest in RV and camping news. Welcome back, everybody. A big thanks to Abby for filling in for me last week. More on where I was at the end of this episode. If you like what we do and you're a news junkie like me, we've been really overhauling the website, putting a lot more news stories on the website, and sending out a newsletter 4 times a week with all sorts of news and information, notifications about the episodes that we're putting out, along with stories from the road and more. You can find it over at rvmiles.com/mailing list, but I'll put a link to it in the description so you can find it there as well, plus in the pinned comment for this episode. Let's jump right into the news. First up, according to Statistical Surveys Inc., who track retail registrations of RVs, new RV sales took a 24% dive in February, which I think is the biggest single month drop in the time I've been covering this industry. Retail registrations are the actual number of units sold and registered in states. So this isn't the number of RVs produced by the manufacturers and shipped. Those are sort of the two main numbers we tracked. This is actual sales on dealer lots. February is the most recent month available. It takes them a little over a month to compile the numbers. And this is year over year. So comparing this February to last February. And that's because it's a seasonal business. Doesn't really make sense to compare this month with last month, as sales always go up in the spring, of course. Motorized RVs actually performed worse than the overall market, down 31.24% over last February. And breaking it out even further, Class A motorhomes were down a whopping 44%. One bright spot, though, Class B camper vans were actually up about 5.5%. And unlike new RVs, used RV sales saw positive year-over-year growth, 1.5 over last February, with again Class B RVs leading the way, up 7.27%, and even Class A used motorhomes were up 5%. All of that tells me that people are prioritizing the savings of buying a used vehicle over new right now. Industry analysts and executives are pointing to what they're calling a kind of double squeeze on consumers. On one side, you've got still elevated interest rates, which makes financing a new RV significantly more expensive than it was a few years ago, plus the increased price of an RV with inflation. Monthly payments are higher, and that alone can push a lot of buyers out of the new market. On the other side, though, fuel prices are still volatile enough that people are thinking twice about committing to a big fuel-hungry motorhome, especially something like a Class A. That could also help explain why those larger rigs are getting hit the hardest, while smaller, more efficient options like camper vans are holding up better. There's also still general inflation and general uncertainty about where the economy is headed. And when people feel uncertain, they tend to delay big discretionary purchases. A new RV is about as discretionary as it gets, and new RV sales are often sort of a canary in the coal mine for the general economy, but it is hard to sort of judge things based on that because we had this big pandemic boom and this big fall off, and everything is just a little bit out of whack. On the shipment side, the number of RVs actually produced by the manufacturers, not sold. Total RV shipments ended the month of February down 11.1% over February of 2025. So down, but outpacing actual sales. And interestingly, there were a lot of motorhomes delivered in February, up 22% over February of last year. So there's an interesting discrepancy there. Now, there are a lot of variables with motorhomes like chassis availability that can cause big swings, but it'll be interesting to see if RV dealers end up heavily overstocked on motorhomes this spring. More in a moment, but first, this episode is brought to you by Liquefied RV Toilet Treatment, created by RVers for RVers, and proudly made and warehoused in Elkhart, Indiana, the RV capital of the world. Liquefied uses a powerful blend of enzymes and beneficial bacteria that break down solid waste and toilet paper, helping prevent clogs, odors, and that dreaded poop pyramid that nobody wants to deal with on the road. It liquefies the waste so that dumping is smoother, and it even helps keep your tank sensors clean and reading more accurately. Unlike harsh chemical treatments, Liquefied is biodegradable and septic safe, designed to work with your RV, not against it. So you can spend less time worrying about your black tank and more time enjoying the campground. If you want an easier, cleaner holding tank experience, check out Liquefied at liquefiedrv.com. RV sales may be struggling, but new fifth wheel manufacturer Axiom RV is already growing after delivering their first units to owners only a few months ago. According to an article in RV Business, the company has outgrown its original warehouse and has now moved to multiple buildings, a holding yard, and an expanded office space. Co-founder AJ Jones told RV Business that sales have been extremely strong to start the year, with their production line currently full of orders. Axiom credits part of its success to early patents that help differentiate its products, along with a major push into social media. They've also grown their workforce from just a handful of employees to more than 100. Looking ahead, Axiom says it plans to keep expanding, but cautiously, focusing on maintaining quality as it grows. The RV Industry Association's board of directors has approved the requirement for tire pressure monitoring systems, or TPMS, to be included on all new towable RVs, beginning with each manufacturer's 2028 model year production. That means the change will start appearing mid-2027, when most manufacturers begin unveiling their 2028 models. New 2028 towable RVs will come from the factory with a tire pressure monitoring system installed already, or perhaps in a package. I'm guessing a lot of brands are just going to include a valve stem cap type TPMS sensor pack and monitor with purchase. But perhaps we'll start seeing some brands actually integrating sensors into the wheels, which is generally a better method. Regardless of whether you plan to buy an RV in the coming years and this matters to you or not, this standard update goes to show you just how important a TPMS is if the RV manufacturers are voluntarily requiring that each other implements them. A tire issue on a towable RV can get expensive fast. A flat tire can easily go unnoticed, and then that tire heats up and it fails, ripping itself apart and damaging the area around the wheel. A TPMS can warn of low tire pressure or rising temperatures before it turns into a full-on blowout. Ford is recalling more than 400,000 trucks and SUVs over a potentially serious safety issue involving windshield wipers. The recall affects about 422,000 vehicles, including 2021 through 2023 Expeditions and Lincoln Navigators, along with 2022 and 2023 Super Duty trucks. According to federal regulators, the wiper arms can fail or even break off, which could significantly reduce visibility and increase the risk of a crash. Ford says that owners will start receiving notification letters this month, and dealers will inspect and repair the faulty wiper arms at no cost. If you own one of these vehicles, you can check your VIN now through the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's website to see if you're affected. In Montana, advertising a campground from the highway just got more expensive. The cost for campgrounds and small tourism businesses to appear on those blue highway exit signs has suddenly doubled. These are the signs that tell you there's a campground or an RV park at the next exit. Historically, it's one of the most important ways that small parks have been discovered by travelers on the road, though perhaps it's less important in the age of mobile internet. The cost for an annual sponsorship just jumped from around $2,400 a year to nearly $4,800 a year. And for small rural campgrounds, that's not a minor expense. Fuel prices have held fairly steady since the announcement of a 2-week ceasefire between the US and Iran. The national average for a gallon of regular gasoline has gone up just a penny since last week to $4.12 a gallon. Diesel is up 4 cents to $5.65. Crude oil prices remain high, even as they've fluctuated up and down in recent days. It doesn't sound like the end of this is near, but it's possible that we're near the upper limit for now. Only time will tell. So the reason I was gone last week, I've just returned from peer-to-peer RV rental marketplace Outdoorsy's annual Outdoorsy Group Summit, where I moderated a panel discussion on new startup tech-heavy RV brands like Lightship, Nuvo, and Grounded. You may have already seen the tour of the Lightship AE1 that I put out from the event, and there's more to come, but Outdoorsy dropped some big news of their own at the event, and a lot of it has to do with expanding far from being an RV rental company. to being a total mobility source. If you've been sort of sleeping on just how big this company has become since its founding about 11 years ago, co-founder Jeff Caven said that Outdoorsy's now booked $4 billion in total transactions and over 10 million nights outside. They've expanded to or are about to expand to Japan, Korea, Australia, Europe, more. They've also made a concerted effort to actually reduce the number of RVs on the platform, dropping about 45% of their RV rental listings in recent years. Why? Well, they want better vehicles for customers to choose from and fewer underperforming hosts. Outdoorsy's also become a home for many RV fleet owners to rent out RVs, and you'd be shocked at the number and breadth of RV rental fleets out there now, at least I was. I talked with the owner of a major fleet on this week's episode of the RV Miles podcast. If you want to check that out, it's here on the YouTube channel or on any podcast app. And we hope you join us there each and every week where we talk about stories in the news and so much more, our travels and beyond. But Outdoorsy has also expanded its scope even further in recent years into fleet car rentals as well, outside of the massive rental companies like Hertz and Budget, through their Ride.auto platform and the Ride app. Outdoorsy Auto lets you rent more affordable cars for longer periods of time. Great if you have your car in a shop or something like that. And that's a market that's been growing rapidly recently. But the big news is that Outdoorsy is making a big leap into getting into the autonomous taxi game. You've surely heard of Waymo autonomous taxis and Tesla's Cybercab, which has just started rolling off the production line. As more car brands get self-driving capabilities, there's going to be more and more vehicles that can do this sort of thing, and there's going to need to be a more centralized place to hail a cab. And Outdoorsy is building what they think will be that platform. Perhaps will even be something that outperforms Uber one day, because somebody still needs to own these vehicles, to manage them, to maintenance them, to clean them. And Outdoorsy, having had this experience with RV owners and now automobile owners, they think that their fleet owners are the perfect people to do this. The Ride mobile app has been updated to allow you to get an autonomous taxi ride and even extend that ride into longer term rentals. The fleet owners can even go in through all the information in that vehicle and roll the windows down for you, unlock the car for you. They can track down to the foot where the vehicle is. It's really kind of incredible. Their fleet owners will buy Tesla Cybercabs and then rent them out on the platform. Outdoorsy even placed the first order for 100 Tesla Cybercabs themselves, and they've even partnered with Lloyd's of London to create a totally new type of insurance product that allows for insurance by the mile, which they say is going to change this whole game. It's a wild, wild world for all of this to have stemmed from RVs. And you can imagine how maybe this could come back full circle. One day, autonomous RVs will allow you to take a real fancy trip from point A to point B without having to drive the thing. I'd love to know your thoughts on all that in the comments. Thanks so much for being here. Don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter, rvmiles.com/mailing list. Link is in the description and the pinned comment below. Thanks so much for being here. Hit the like button if you got something out of this episode. Subscribe if you want more like it, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.